you know there are proteins that can actually act like natural insulin? And I'm not talking about pills, powders, or some miracle supplement. I'm talking about real food, the kind you can find at any grocery store, that when chosen correctly can help bring your blood sugar down fast and keep it stable all day long. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Isabella Norris, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 proteins that do the most to support natural glucose control. I'm also going to call out one protein that millions of men think is healthy, but is actually quietly wrecking their metabolism. You're probably eating it right now. Stick around, because this one might surprise you. Here's something I see all the time after more than 15 years of practicing medicine. Men come into my office, good guys, hardworking, disciplined, and they're doing everything they think is right. They cut the bread, they skip dessert, they go for a walk every morning, and their glucose is still high, every single time. And when I look at what they're eating, the pattern is almost always the same. They're choosing the wrong proteins. A lot of guys think they're eating healthy when they're actually forcing their pancreas to work overtime. They're grabbing canned tuna and oil, deli meats, or those light processed products that sound clean on the label but are anything but. And their blood work tells the whole story. Glucose not going down, sometimes actually going up. That's not a willpower problem. That's an information problem. And that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Now, before I get into the good stuff, I want to ask you something. Drop it in the comments. What has your doctor told you about protein and blood sugar? And have you noticed changes in your strength or energy as you've gotten older? I read every single comment. I want to know what city or state you're watching from, and I do my best to answer your questions one by one. This channel exists to walk alongside you on your path to better health, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because the next few videos are going to keep building on everything I'm sharing here. Now let's talk about why protein even matters for blood sugar. As men age, the body goes through some real changes. Metabolism slows down, muscle mass drops, and insulin, the hormone your body uses to pull sugar out of the food you eat and get it into your cells, it stops working as efficiently as it used to. That's just biology. But here's the thing. Choosing the right protein becomes one of your most powerful tools to fight back. Good protein doesn't just feed your muscles and keep you strong. It actually teaches your body to use sugar more efficiently, stopping it from piling up in your bloodstream. When you pick the right sources, 3 big things happen. Your hunger goes down, you feel full longer and stop craving sweets as much. Your glucose spikes flatten out, protein slows down how fast carbs get absorbed, so your energy stays steady instead of crashing, and your insulin sensitivity improves. Your cells learn to use sugar as fuel instead of storing it, which keeps your metabolism running clean. This isn't theory. Studies done on older adults consistently show that a diet built around the right lean proteins can reduce fasting blood glucose by up to 15% in just a few weeks. But here's the catch. Not all proteins do this. A grilled chicken breast and a can of tuna packed in oil are not the same thing. The fat composition, the sodium, the preservatives, they all change how your body responds. So it's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about which protein you choose. And that decision can be the difference between steady glucose and a spike that wipes out days of progress. Let's start with the most straightforward, reliable protein you can put on your plate. Skinless chicken breast. I don't recommend this one because it's trendy. I recommend it because after 15 plus years of working with patients, I've watched it consistently deliver results. It's lean, it's clean, and it's perfectly calibrated for the metabolism of an older man. Skinless chicken breast is loaded with high-quality protein, including essential amino acids like leucine, which directly stimulates muscle building and improves insulin sensitivity. Here's why that matters. As your muscles get stronger, your body gets better at using glucose as fuel instead of letting it float around in your blood. That alone can prevent the kind of spikes that do serious damage over time. It also delivers niacin, that's vitamin B3, which supports healthy pancreas and liver function. Both of those organs are critical for keeping blood sugar under control. A 100-gram serving gives you roughly 22 to 24 grams of pure protein with very little fat and almost 0 carbs. But the real secret with chicken breast isn't just what it has, it's what it doesn't have. No saturated fat to block insulin from doing its job. That one choice pulling off the skin or picking the right cooking method can make a genuinely measurable difference in your glucose levels. Think of your metabolism like an engine. Every part needs fuel delivered at the right rate. When you eat grilled chicken with vegetables, the protein breaks down slowly, releasing amino acids gradually. That keeps your energy stable and prevents the kind of rapid glucose spikes you get when food hits your system too fast. The lean protein actually strengthens your insulin signal instead of interfering with it. Your body gets a steady, clean fuel source. No excess fat, no excess sodium messing with your blood pressure or your sugar. For men who've watched their muscle mass drop over the years, chicken breast works like a metabolic anchor. It helps preserve strength, balance blood sugar, and keep appetite under control. Picture the ideal plate: a palm-sized portion of chicken breast, lightly grilled alongside some steamed broccoli, zucchini, or spinach with a drizzle of olive oil. That combination gives you fiber, antioxidants, and lean protein, the perfect trio for keeping glucose stable for hours. And here's a practical tip a lot of my patients love. Cook a few chicken breasts at once, refrigerate them, and use them throughout the week. Cold, shredded in a salad. They are just as effective. One thing you want to avoid: frying or breading the chicken. A fried piece of chicken soaks up oil like a sponge. You're multiplying the calories and turning a clean protein into a load of oxidized fat that can actually raise glucose and trigger inflammation. Same goes for bottled sauces. Most of them are hiding sugar, corn syrup, or excess sodium. Stick with herbs, lemon, garlic, or natural spices. Season it yourself. You'll know exactly what's in it. 3 simple rules. Remove the skin. That's where most of the saturated fat hides. Don't reheat it over and over if protein oxidizes and loses quality. And pair it with vegetables or legumes, not white rice or white bread. Follow those 3 adjustments and chicken breast stops being just a basic meal and becomes a genuine therapeutic tool. Less hunger between meals, more stable energy, lower fasting glucose after a few weeks, better muscle tone, and less bloating. Now, there's another protein that takes everything chicken does and pushes it even further. A small, affordable, often overlooked food that I genuinely call the insulin of the sea: sardines. Sardines are a complete protein source. All the essential amino acids, easy digestion, about 22 grams of protein per 100 gram, serving with no added sugar and very little bad fat. But what makes them truly special is the combination of omega-3s, calcium, and vitamin D working together to reduce inflammation and improve how your pancreas functions. When your body has enough omega-3s, your cells become more sensitive to insulin, like someone cleaned the receptors and opened the door for glucose to get in. The EPA and DHA fatty acids in sardines reduce triglycerides and lower insulin resistance. For men dealing with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, those are 2 of the most important things you can address. Vitamin D plays a quieter but equally critical role. It improves how calcium is used by the beta cells in your pancreas, the cells responsible for producing insulin. When vitamin D is low, insulin production gets irregular and glucose tends to climb. Sardines contain this nutrient naturally, which means you're supporting hormonal balance in your metabolism without needing extra supplements. And the calcium in sardines, which comes from those small, soft bones, doesn't just strengthen your bones. It participates in muscle contraction and communication between your pancreas and muscle cells. More calcium available means better insulin response. That's a big deal. For older men specifically, sardines offer one more advantage. They're easy to digest. Unlike red meat or processed proteins, sardines are light on your stomach and your liver. And the cost? You can buy a quality can of sardines for under $2. That's one of the most powerful metabolic tools available, and it costs less than a cup of coffee. Here's an easy way to use them. Open a can of sardines packed in water, add a squeeze of lemon, a few slices of cucumber or tomato, and put it on a slice of whole grain toast. That's a full meal under 200 calories with protein, fiber, healthy fats, and essential micronutrients. Or toss them into a salad with avocado, spinach, and a little olive oil. Anti-inflammatory, blood sugar stabilizing, quick to make. Now here's the key detail that trips people up. Not all sardines are equal. Canned versions packed in refined vegetable oil, soybean oil, sunflower, corn, can actually cancel out the benefits. Those industrial oils, once heated and processed, mess with the omega-3 to omega-6 balance and cause more inflammation, not less. They increase insulin resistance, so always choose sardines packed in water or natural brine with no added sauces or preservatives. If it's canned, check that sodium content. Try to stay under 200 milligrams per serving. If you can get fresh sardines, even better. One more thing. If you've got elevated uric acid, limit your intake to 2 or 3 times a week. Don't cut them out entirely. The benefits far outweigh the risk when you balance them with plenty of vegetables and fruit. I tell my patients all the time, don't underestimate this little fish. A can of sardines and water can do more for your blood sugar than any expensive supplement on the shelf. Now, for the guys who prefer plant-based options or who want to mix things up, I want to talk about 2 proteins I call the smart plant proteins, tofu and lentils. These 2 stand out among plant-based options for their effect on glucose. They're what I call smart proteins because they work with your body, teaching your metabolism to stabilize blood sugar instead of stressing it out. Both tofu, made from soys, and lentils from the legume family, share some seriously valuable properties. Low glycemic index, high in fiber, rich in magnesium. Those 3 factors together improve insulin sensitivity, meaning they help your body use glucose efficiently instead of letting it build up in the blood. When you eat these proteins, digestion is slow and gradual. The soluble fiber acts like a natural filter in your intestine, slowing down how fast carbs get absorbed. No sugar spikes, no pancreas overload. And that same fiber feeds your gut microbiome, the good bacteria that regulate inflammation and immune response. A healthy gut produces less inflammation, and less inflammation means better glucose control. That's a chain reaction you want working in your favor. Magnesium, found in abundance in both tofu and lentils, is involved in over 300 metabolic processes, including activating insulin. When magnesium is sufficient, insulin works with greater efficiency, and glucose moves into cells where it belongs. Studies consistently show that magnesium deficiency increases the risk of insulin resistance. So eating tofu or lentils isn't just about getting protein. It's also correcting a mineral deficiency that may be making your blood sugar harder to manage. For older men, these proteins are especially practical. They're easy to digest, light on the stomach, and provide slow, steady energy for hours. They help preserve muscle mass without stressing the kidneys the way some animal proteins can. Practical ways to use them. A lentil stew with mixed vegetables and a pinch of turmeric is a complete meal. Plant protein, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds all in one pot. A smooth lentil soup with a touch of olive oil and lemon actually improves mineral absorption. For tofu, sauté it with diced tomato, onion, and a little cumin, or marinate it in low-sodium soy sauce and lemon and brown it lightly in a pan. Pair either one with zucchini or spinach for a dinner that's light, nutritious, and blood sugar friendly. One tip, combine these proteins with foods high in vitamin C, lemon, tomatoes, bell peppers, to boost your absorption of iron and magnesium. That small detail makes a real difference in energy and glucose management. I hear from my patients all the time, "Doc, when I eat lentils, I feel full but light." That's exactly the feeling we're going for. Satisfied without being weighed down. These proteins are also naturally anti-inflammatory. The isoflavones in tofu and the polyphenols in lentils fight oxidative stress and protect your pancreatic cells. Over time, that preserves your natural insulin function and keeps your energy levels up. If your gut is sensitive to legumes, start with small, well-cooked portions. You can even blend them into soups to make them easier to digest. Give it a couple of weeks, and your system will adjust, and you'll start getting all the benefits. Now, I need to talk about the one that gets men into trouble. The protein that looks healthy on the surface but is silently sabotaging your blood sugar control. I'm talking about canned tuna packed in oil, or any canned tuna loaded with preservatives. For years, canned tuna has been sold as a convenient, lean, high-protein choice, and on paper it sounds perfect. Low carb, high protein, easy to keep in the pantry. But look closely at that label and you'll find something that changes the whole picture. Most commercial canned tuna is hiding an alarming amount of sodium. One serving can pack up to 400 milligrams of sodium, enough to raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and trigger metabolic stress. For older men managing diabetes, that excess sodium can spike glucose even when you're eating what you think is a clean meal. That's the sneaky part. You're doing everything right, and your numbers are still off. Sodium is often the hidden culprit. The oils are the other problem. Most commercial tuna is packed in refined vegetable oils, soybean, sunflower, corn. These oils, once they've been heated and processed in an industrial setting, oxidize and generate inflammatory compounds. Instead of protecting your heart, they promote insulin resistance and drive up triglycerides. The omega-3s naturally found in the fish are still in there, but when they're mixed with oxidized oils, they lose their effect. Your body gets poor quality fat, your pancreas gets stressed, and glucose can't enter cells properly. Then add in the chemical preservatives, phosphates, benzoates, nitrites. These substances irritate the gut lining and create low-grade inflammation throughout the body. When your body is chronically inflamed, glucose stays elevated even when your diet is decent. Inflammation and insulin resistance feed each other, and it becomes a cycle that's hard to break. I've had patients, good guys, disciplined, genuinely trying, who were eating canned tuna in oil every day, totally convinced it was a healthy snack. After a few weeks of tracking their diet, the pattern was clear. Too much canned tuna, not enough water, excess sodium. Their glucose was creeping up and their blood pressure was out of range. The body doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to what you actually feed it. Let me paint two clear scenarios. Scenario 1. You open a can of tuna packed in water, mix it with some chopped vegetables, a squeeze of lemon, and a little olive oil. You're getting clean protein, natural omega-3s, and easy digestion. Scenario 2. You open a can of tuna and soybean oil, mix it with mayo, and eat it with some crackers. Those two meals might look similar, but the metabolic effect is completely opposite. Excess oxidized fat, excess sodium, refined carbs. That combination pushes glucose up after eating and keeps it elevated way longer than it should. Here's my clear recommendation. If you want tuna in your diet, choose fresh tuna once or twice a week. If you're buying canned, make it tuna and water only. No oil, low sodium, nothing but tuna, water, and a pinch of salt. Everything else is unnecessary and potentially harmful. Also worth knowing, excessive heat can alter the oils inside the can and generate compounds that are hard on the liver. If a can smells or tastes metallic or off, throw it out. And since tuna can carry traces of mercury, daily consumption is never a good idea. Occasional use only. And let chicken, sardines, tofu, or lentils be your primary protein sources. Those are the ones that feed your body without quietly working against it. Let me bring this all together for you. Skinless chicken breast is your stability protein. Clean, pure muscle building, and perfectly suited for keeping glucose steady throughout the day. Sardines are your anti-inflammatory marine protein. Small, affordable, and incredibly powerful for protecting your heart, supporting your pancreas, and improving your body's response to insulin. Tofu and lentils are your smart plant proteins. They satisfy hunger, control glucose, and nourish your body without overloading your digestion. And canned tuna and oil is the trap. It looks like a smart choice. The marketing makes it sound clean. But behind the label are ingredients that quietly undermine every effort you're making to get your blood sugar under control. This is not about eating less. It's about eating with metabolic intelligence. My simple formula: try to include 2 quality proteins at most meals. 1 animal-based like chicken or sardines, and 1 plant-based like tofu or lentils. That combination gives your body everything it needs to repair tissue, balance metabolism, and keep glucose in a healthy range. Think about your plate as a message to your body. Today, I'm fueling you to heal, not to inflame you, not to stress you out. Make that same decision day after day, and it becomes a natural treatment. It doesn't replace your doctor or your medication, but it accelerates your body's ability to respond better to insulin and stabilize glucose on its own. One last thing I want to make sure you don't overlook. Keep an eye on your overall sugar intake. Take care of your kidneys and get your hemoglobin A1C and kidney function checked every 3 to 6 months. Those 2 tests tell you how well your blood sugar is being managed over time, and they let you catch problems early before they turn into complications. A lot of men feel like their body has stopped responding. Trust me, it hasn't. I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who cleaned up their diet and saw real changes in just a few weeks. Better sleep, more energy, improved labs. That's not a miracle. That's what happens when you give your body what it actually needs. Your body doesn't quit on you. You just have to give it the right fuel at the right time. It is never too late to turn this around. Metabolism has memory. Every clean choice you make today shapes how you feel for the next several years. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one thing. Swap that can of tuna and oil for sardines and water tonight. Or swap out a heavy dinner for a simple lentil soup. Your body will notice. Even if you're 65, 70, or 75, your system is still listening to what you feed it. Teach it through your daily choices that it's time to find balance. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment with your age and where you're watching from. And tell me, which of these proteins are you going to add to your plate first? Your answer might be exactly what someone else watching this video needs to hear to take that first step. Because health isn't recovered in a pill. It's built one decision at a time, right there in front of your plate. If this video helped you, hit that like button, share it with a buddy who's dealing with the same stuff, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.